Welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Kaiju. We're hosts Mark and Sam. Today, I've got a bit of a mouthful here. There's quite a long title. This, I believe the title is Godzilla, Mothra and King Ghidorah. Giant monsters all out attack. Do you want to lead on this?
Yeah, okay. In 2001, it's directed by Shusuke Kaneko, and this is 25th Godzilla film. And again, like all the Millennium series, ignores all other Godzilla films except the very first one.
Yeah.
So it sort of starts with a nuclear submarine being missing off the coast of Japan. And it's kind of hard to describe because not much happens for the first.
One of the problems we have is it was dubbed and the voice work was alright, but the dubbing was just a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It didn't quite match the stuff on the screen, and it didn't match the lips. So it was kind of weird what was going on. But does that matter, really?
Nah. It's a good... We didn't really... Let's be honest, not much happened in the human element of this.
Yeah, and I got bored.
Yeah.
But however, having said that, it was quite short compared to other Godzilla films.
Yeah.
It did kick off quite fast.
It's only 105 minutes.
It was a longish film. Most of these Millennium Series ones are about that. So they're quite long.
But the thing that most of the films is, they're usually all human element up until the last, 20 minutes.
25 minutes, yeah. This was definitely not. Didn't wait that long.
There was a lot more monster fighting in this one.
Yeah, and at one point we looked at it. We thought it was kind of over, but there was half an hour left.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Anyway, yeah, all right. Should we just get into the monster fight then?
Yeah. So
which one appeared first? Was it Baragon?
It was Baragon that appeared first. So the sort of overall premise is instead of Godzilla being giant radioactive lizard, he's like the souls of all the people that died in the Pacific, all the Japanese people that died in the Pacific,
full of rage,
gone angry.
Yeah, that's where they get that from. I don't know. There's an old fella casting dire warnings, and we're not quite sure who he is.
No, they sort of think he might be Serizawa from the original one, the doctor who made the.
But that's not established.
No,
there's also a few bits where a religious relic gets vandalised.
Yeah,
and then I think
by some youths,
some troublesome youths who break into a shop. But they break this little.
And then Mothra comes and squashes them all.
Mothra?
Yeah, it's Mothra.
But which monster? It was Baragon was the first one.
Baragon was the first fight because he showed up, and then Godzilla showed up and started a fight.
There were some cool effects in this. Some of them were a bit patchy, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Godzilla was massive in this.
Yeah, he was much bigger than he usually is. He was bigger than all the other monsters except King Ghidorah.
Yeah. He was
at the very end.
He was ridiculously overpowered compared to Baragon.
He was also fairly scary looking. He had more his teeth were bigger. He had white eyes.
Yes, he was weird looking. I didn't mind this design. I thought it was kind of cool, but I prefer the design they had before this. They go back to that. In the next two. Okay, Baragon. I completely flubbed on Baragon. I couldn't remember him at all. For some reason, I was thinking he looked like the one that's King Caesar.
Yeah.
For some reason, I had in my head that Baragon's like this, but that's King Caesar, so I was completely wrong. The sort of monkey, furry, weird one. But then I think I had it also mixed up with there's a Barugon in Gamera.
Yeah, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah, but it's like a little, I don't know.
It's a much smaller monster. Kind of. It's got big sort of ears and a horn, and it can dig. Is its thing. So,
but in terms of size, he was ridiculously small compared to Godzilla.
Just under half the size of Godzilla.
It was kind of like watching a professional wrestler fight a midget. With a horn on its head.
Yeah,
that was the kind of vibe, really. He got a good
Godzilla
kick.
Utterly crushed him.
Stomped him at one point.
He started stomping on its head. He was throwing it about.
I felt a bit bad for him.
Yeah.
And there was these reporters going, "Oh, we're here for the Rumble and all this," and they were a pair of dicks. But Godzilla zapped them, so that was.
No, he threw Baragon at them.
Did he? Oh, yes, he did. Yes. Did he do it with the towel thing?
No, he just threw Baragon at them.
Okay, that was cool.
Well, it's more he threw Baragon and the helicopter happened to be in the way.
Yeah. But that, whatever, he took them out. That was cool. And the military are kind of involved. And there's a real stupid general that keeps saying, "We're gonna." It was a bit weird. Not weird. A bit archetypally dumb military. And there was another one who was being a bit Zach Brannigan as well. If I remember rightly.
His voice did sound a bit like Zach Brannigan. Yeah.
What was kind of fun about this one is they actually did cut some. They kept cut. At least twice they cut to scenes of people in a toilet being surprised when the ground started shaking. They kept going back to that as like a joke. But they did show other individuals we'd never seen before. We saw a woman in a hospital bed.
Yeah, that was kind of like morbidly funny because like she sees Godzilla coming up towards a hospital, and in the last second he turns away, and she's like going down,
and
his tail just smashes into the building.
Yeah, completely takes out the building with a swing of his tail, which is kind of funny. And there was another one where a guy looks out of a window during a storm, and then it pans back. We see him in the window, but then we see a huge foot come down,
just comes down, and crushes it.
Wow, it was like, wow, that's grim. And what's going like you say, the human stuff was kind of nonsensical. You didn't know what they were up to, other they were trying to fight Godzilla. Then, is it Mothra appears?
Mothra shows up, and then
in a double egg thing.
Yeah,
but it's just one moth.
She crystallizes and turns into the giant moth.
Oh yeah.
And then Ghidorah shows up, who's supposed to be an 8-headed dragon in this, but I guess he didn't have enough incubation time, so he only has 3.
There's something about the old fella looking after. There's a suggestion the old fella's kind of incubating him, or knows about the cave he's in, or has invoked him. I don't know.
It's never clear.
We don't know.
All we know is he's under ice, and then the old fella arrives, and the ice cracks.
Yeah.
So they fight for a while. Both get destroyed.
King Ghidorah fights Godzilla first. I really like the monster design for King Ghidorah. It looked like a proper, classical Chinese or Japanese dragon.
Yeah, it wasn't just sort of like spikes for a head sort of thing.
No.
Like the last 2 iterations of Ghidorah.
Yeah, this looked like a proper classical dragon, Eastern dragon. It was kind of fun.
All sort of like swirls on its cheeks sort of thing.
It looked kind of metallic too, didn't it?
Yeah, I think Ghidorah's supposed to be like all metallic.
We were talking about that just at the point Godzilla got his teeth into one of his necks.
Yeah, and it started bleeding. And it's like, maybe not.
And there was blood everywhere. So Ghidorah dies, right? Yeah. Then Mothra comes on.
Mothra comes along, gets shot down.
Completely zapped by Godzilla. We look at our watches. There's half an hour left, so we're kind of confused. Oh, and basically the whole town's decimated, which is kind of fun. He didn't take a pagoda down in this one.
No, that was weird.
This is one film I don't remember him taking a pagoda down, which is really odd. Yeah. They also got these weird tanks that fire drill missiles.
Yeah, that don't work against Godzilla.
Anyway, so what happened? Mothra gets vaporized. Ghidorah's dead. Mothra then gets vaporized. So we're thinking, what's going to happen next? But it was like this. Oh, there was also a reference to the twins, the Mothra twins, wasn't there?
Mothra flies over a town, and there's 2 girls in white that look up and hold hands. It's really weird.
And there's a bit of the Mothra theme in the music, sort of a refrain to that. It's similar. You can just about tell it's the Mothra theme. Yeah. It's not the proper theme, but it sounds very similar to it. No, I'm not going to. But, so there's a hint of that too. Which is kind of fun.
So Mothra's vaporized, and then she somehow gives her power to Ghidorah,
which we saw in the Red Rodan, the film with the Red Rodan.
Sort of.
We saw a similar to that. Anyway, so
I guess giant monsters can do that.
Yeah,
but
give their power.
It turns Ghidorah into King Ghidorah, who can now fly.
Yeah, which is cool.
His wings are now fully formed, I guess.
There was a few other references to other things during this film, wasn't there? They talked about there was a reference to Blair Witch Project for some bizarre reason. They actually said, "Oh yeah, there's towns with witches in America. It's well documented." And you think, okay. And then they mentioned the New York attack.
Yeah, there was an attack on New York. The Americans say it was Godzilla, but our guys don't think so.
Yeah, that's a oblique reference to the 1998 movie. We're guessing. Anyway, so then there's a massive fight with
Ghidorah, King Ghidorah, and Godzilla.
Fun.
Yeah, fairly good because Ghidorah actually flies about in this fight.
Yeah,
and it's not just to run away.
That's right. And Godzilla, some of the Godzilla breath zapping was very cool.
Yeah,
it was very cool. Anyway, to fight him, what happens next? Does Ghidorah finally?
They dive underwater, and
yeah, that's right.
He it's like the fight continues, and eventually Godzilla wins.
Yeah. But a bloke in a sub with some missiles approaches Godzilla, and I think he deliberately drives into his mouth.
Yeah.
I think.
And then fires one of the drill missiles through from the inside through an open wound in the guy's shoulder, in Godzilla's shoulder, which causes him to lose control of his breath.
So when he tries to do it, it shoots out of his shoulder and it seems to hurt him.
Yeah, and then he blows up.
Yeah, that's weird. The other thing is, when he went into Godzilla, it's like Godzilla's an empty shell, almost.
I'd guess Godzilla would have really big insides.
Yeah, maybe it was because he was so massive, he appears to be in a vast space, where in fact it's his normal, or whatever. Anyway, so then Godzilla dies.
Godzilla dies, and he dissolves, and it sort of trails off. And then you get one bit at the last second is a heart. You see a big, massive heart on the bottom of the ocean. And it starts beating while the original Godzilla march starts playing.
Yeah, it was nice they got some of that music.
Yeah,
it's good theme that. So, what do you think of this one?
It was pretty good.
I enjoyed it too. I thought it was rather good. I think it's maybe the one I've enjoyed one of the most out of the Millennium. I have to say, I'm not enjoying the Millenniums. I think the middle one was it Heisei.
Yeah, that was widely considered to be the best.
Yeah, I really like the Heisei stuff a lot more than this, but I still like this quite a bit. It's kind of fun, and I'm looking forward to the next one, which is Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, isn't it?
Yeah, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. And weirdly, that's the only one in this series that has a sequel, which is Tokyo SOS.
Which we're going to do after that.
Yeah.
So we're getting to the end of our Japanese Godzilla episodes. Then we're going to throw in a few more kaijus and probably finish off, for the time being, with Pacific Rim and the 2014 Godzilla. Which I know we've done, but we want to do again.
Yeah.
Why not? And then the series is never ending, though, of course. No, there's always going to be...
There's going to be another legendary Godzilla.
Yeah.
And Toho announced that they're going to make a Godzilla film next year. So.
Okay, so we've got at least a few in the next few years. So this is a series, like I say, will never end, I don't think, but it'll just keep rolling and rolling. Yeah. We'll just do them way less frequently.
Yeah.
It's fine, isn't it?
I'm kind of curious whether they're going to go with, suits or... CG now.
What, on Toho's?
Yeah, Toho, because I think
they got to do suits. Sure.
I'm not sure because
do you think
the new American one's shown that Godzilla can look like Godzilla in CG.
Well, maybe, but there must be a lot of budget gone into that CG.
Yeah,
but it depends, doesn't it? I prefer suits for the Toho.
Yeah,
stuff.
so do I. But
they can use CG to enhance it greatly, I'm sure. But suits is fun. Okay. Yeah. Okay, what would you give it out of 10?
I'd give this one about a 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 too. Okay. So next time I think we'll be doing Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Bye from me.
Bye.